Folks, welcome, and may I please have you arise as our candidates come in. All right, thank you, candidates. Thank you. We'd like to invite David Yermolov up to lead us in the pledge, and then after that, please stay standing for the national anthem.
Start. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, you may be seated. Thank you so much. Well, good evening and welcome to the 2025 commencement ceremony for the online scholars of John Adams Academy. Scholars, you are the last of our pioneers. Next year, there'll be triple to quadruple this number. Our program has grown, but we appreciate you joining early and being here guiding us through these first few years. I will say thank you for leading the way. Now, I wanted to prove to you that I graduated also in my lifetime. This is my tassel from 1982. Interestingly, just found it a few days ago. My wife was cleaning up and there it was, but it's exciting. So I have the honor of giving some opening remarks, and I take this, I try to put my heart and my soul into it. But scholars, I don't know that I remembered anything my principal said on graduation night. So if you take something away, that's okay, but it's going to be brief. So here we go. I hope you deeply consider finding the balance between doing something you love, doing something you're good at or that you're going to become good at, and doing something that will support your interests, your spouse, your family, your lifestyle. That is not an easy thing to do, and it takes about 5 to 10 years and a lot of hard work, but you'll find your place. Just don't forget the 5 to 10 years part, and it's okay. You don't have to move fast. Success doesn't necessarily come overnight. Take it in its natural course, whether it's fast or slow. That's one thing. Be patient. Life is not a race. At my tender young age now, I realize we don't have to sprint through life, and we don't have to get done with school or other things fast. We don't have to lock ourselves into careers that we don't like. Just take life one year at a time. make plans, adjust them as necessary, and it's going to be okay. If it takes a year or two more than you expected, that's okay, because it's not a race. So last thing, at each step, be a good person. Love others. Be kind to everybody in your thoughts, in your words, and your actions. That may be the most important thing. Do one thing at a time. When you drive, drive. Don't look at your phone. When you study, study. Don't be distracted. When you talk to somebody, give them your full attention. When you work hard and smart. Don't do a mediocre job. When I talk about doing one thing at a time, that's present time consciousness. Aiden and Alyssa were in my class this year. I talked about it more than once. Present time consciousness, be here now. There's some real wisdom in that. So we, your team, your administration, your board, your teachers, we believe in you. You have been a big part of our lives, and you're a big reason why we exist. So to help you along your path, we hope to continue to be fellow travelers on the journey. So be strong, walk towards the light, find truth, go forth and conquer. All right, that's the end. Now let's get on with things. So here we go. Thank you. Thank you. To begin our awards and recognitions, it's our pleasure to present and recognize the valedictorian and salutatorian from our graduating class. The significance of these awards is immense, considering the John Adams Academy curriculum and considering the quality graduates that we have here tonight, your bright minds. So to kick us off, we're going to have Dr. Andrew Carrico, who will present the valedictorian, after which Mrs. Alexandra Umlis will present our salutatorian, and after that we have a special award that Mrs. Kendra Brace will present, and we'll take it to that point.
All right, thank you, Dr. Meeks. It's my pleasure to introduce to you the valedictorian for the John Adams Academy online class of 2025, and that is Elisa Deravinchuk. And let me tell you something about this scholar. Elisa Deravinchuk is a hardworking and determined young woman who has found an impressive balance between school and work. Over the past year, she's grown tremendously, starting out as a dental receptionist, moving up to a dental assistant, and now working in a hospital setting. All while finishing her high school diploma, she also completed her first semester of college and is excited to continue her journey in higher education. Beyond her academic and professional achievements, Elisa loves spending time outdoors, fishing, and exploring new places. She's traveled across Europe, visiting Germany, Switzerland, and France, and also enjoys discovering beautiful spots closer to home like San Francisco and Lake Tahoe. Elisa's dedication, curiosity, and strength make her a truly inspiring member of this graduating class. Elisa, please come forward and we'll honor you as the valedictorian. Thank you. I would like to now welcome Mrs. Umlis to recognize our salutatorian.
Simona Turovsky is graduating as the salutatorian of the class of 2025 at John Adams Academy. Throughout high school, she has consistently worked hard and shown strong dedication to her academics. In her sophomore year, she joined the National Honor Society, recognizing her commitment to both her studies and her community. She has balanced schoolwork with leadership and service, always staying focused on her goals. Simona will continue her education at Sacramento State, where she plans to study health and science with the goal of pursuing a career in surgery. Simona, congratulations. Please come up and accept your award. And I'd like to welcome Mrs. Brace to the stage.
So our final award recipient has been selected not based on academic achievement or excellence in studies, although she has excelled in those areas. This award is the highest honor the Academy can bestow on a member of the graduating class. Servant leadership requires more than excellent academics. It requires one filled with public and private virtue and a transcending of self to serve family and country. Extraordinary servant leadership requires the possession and consistent application of all 10 core values, as exhibited by both John and Abigail Adams. The John and Abigail Adams Award recipient has been selected based on recommendations of faculty and peers to receive this esteemed recognition. In addition to receiving the honor, they have been awarded a scholarship of $500 made possible by the John Adams Academy Foundation. And these are personal words about Autumn Sherry from her family. Autumn Sherry is thankful to graduate from JA Academy, where she earned the 2025 Abigail Adams Award, completing a mixture of general ed and honors classes, while simultaneously completing college courses, all in pursuit of a degree in psychology and fine arts. She enjoys music, acting, singing, fashion, and traveling, as well as spending time with family and friends. Autumn believes that real growth begins where comfort ends. She is truly grateful to her incredible mother, brother, and to God, whose strength, love, support, and guidance have been her foundation. Autumn persistently challenges life like an artist tears into canvas, boldly, messily, and without asking permission to be excellent. She is a light that doesn't ask permission to shine bright. She just shines. Post-high school, Autumn plans to keep expanding her mind and skills through the continuation of higher education with the goal to one day become a professional artist like Viola Davis and actor Zendaya Coleman. Please join me in congratulating our 2025 John and Abigail Adams Award recipient, Autumn. Here's her plaque. Dr. Meeks.
John, way to go. Nothing like having the brother come up with the flowers, right? That was good. Okay, good move. All right, we'll now shift from our awards ceremony to our graduating scholar speeches. Simona was just introduced a minute ago, so I'm not going to say all those words. But she was our salutatorian. She'll address us now. She was recommended unanimously from your teachers. That's why you got here tonight. So Simona, please come forward and take the stage.
Good evening, teachers, families, friends, and most importantly, class of 2025. Let's be honest, high school was chaotic. It was running on 3 hours of sleep, pretending to know math, submitting essays at 11:59 p.m., and acting shocked when the test covered exactly what we didn't study. Oh, and let's not forget those painfully awkward Zoom breakout rooms where one brave soul had to carry the conversation. But somehow, through all of that, we made it, and that's kind of amazing. Before we celebrate, I want to pause and thank someone very special who helped me survive the days that felt too heavy to carry. My dad. Dad, this is for you. You always told me, keep moving forward. And for a long time, I thought that was just one of those phrases parents say, and something you're supposed to hear, not necessarily believe. But over time, when school felt overwhelming, and I felt like I was falling behind, those words became something I held on to. They gave me direction when nothing else made sense. Now standing here on the edge of everything familiar, about to step into the unknown, I finally get it. Life doesn't magically get easier, but we get stronger. And those difficult moments we try to avoid, they're ones that shape us into who we are. There were times I felt like I couldn't keep going, times I doubted myself, but I remembered what my dad said, and I kept moving forward. Little by little, I learned that strength isn't always loud. Sometimes it's just the quiet decision to not give up. That's what my dad showed me. There's a quote from Mulan I had close to my heart. The flower that blooms in adversity is the most rare and beautiful of all. I used to think strength meant being fearless. Now I know strength is blooming anyway, even when things around you are difficult. Something my dad taught me. This journey wasn't easy. We had to fight through self-doubt, distractions, and days that tested our patience. But we built our way here. We didn't just make it through, we earned it. And that's what makes this moment so special. Some of us are heading to college, some straight to work. Some are still figuring things out, and that is okay. Whatever your path is, remember, you don't have to have it all figured out. You just have to keep showing up, keep going. Because it's not about perfection, it's about discipline. And Dad, thank you. Not for clearing the road, but for walking beside me when it felt steep. You taught me that consistency matters more than comfort, and that real strength comes from showing up, especially when it's hard. Anyways, let's celebrate the class of 2025, not just for reaching this milestone, but for everything it took behind the scenes to get here. From tying our shoes in kindergarten to writing late-night essays and navigating life, we've come a long way. And as we step into the future, I'll carry what my dad's words with me. Keep moving forward, because that's what led me here, and it's what I hope will carry all of us into whatever comes next. Thank you, and congratulations, class of 2025.
Thank you, Simona. That was awesome. Brought tears to my eyes when I read that speech, being a dad, so great words of wisdom. Well, I want to introduce our next speaker. His name's Aiden Solis. And I asked Aiden's parents to write a little bit about him. They wrote a lot about him. I had to edit it. They like you. So here we go. Let me just introduce Aiden. Aiden has always been deeply curious and introspective with a genuine desire to make others feel seen and supported. He values connection, especially with family. When Aiden loves, he loves with his whole heart. Over the years, he's been involved in a variety of activities, especially boxing, which has been a powerful source of confidence and personal growth. Boxing taught him discipline and gave him the mindset to pursue life fearlessly. One of his most defining traits is his ability to remain focused. When he sets a goal, he throws himself into it completely. His long-term goal is to attend the University of Oregon and become a forensic psychologist. He's deeply interested in understanding those who are often considered unreachable, people with the most severe mental health issues, or those who've committed violent crimes, not to excuse behavior, but to understand it and maybe even help prevent it. He doesn't just want to succeed, he wants to pull others up with him. That, more than anything, speaks to who he really is. I just have to say about Aiden, I had him in a biology class a couple of years ago. I've just recently had him in a current events and speech class. He's a dangerous debater. So we had a lot of fun, and he brings a lot to the table. I've grown to respect him. Aiden, please take the podium.
All right. Thank you. All right. Good afternoon, everyone, family, friends, faculty, most importantly, the graduating class of 2025. Today, we are here to celebrate not just an accomplishment, but you. Each of you have walked your own path to get here, filled with moments of hard work, self-doubt, perseverance, and triumph. This stage is not just a platform to walk. It's a reflection of all the sacrifices you've made, the long nights you endured, and the times you kept going, even when giving up felt easier. Hold up. Okay. So before we go any further, let's start by saying this. You deserve this moment. You earned it. Now I want everyone to take a moment and look around. Look at the people sitting beside you. Classmates who became friends, mentors who guided you, and family members who stood by you through everything. This isn't just your celebration, it's theirs too. Let's take a moment to appreciate everyone who has supported us, believed in us, and helped us reach this milestone. Because while we made this climb on our own, none of us got here alone. 2025 graduates, let me tell you this. You are just like a mountain. I know that sounds weird. You have your ups and downs, rocky parts and smooth parts, sunny shifts and dark sides. But no matter what, the mountain is still beautiful, and that's you. Every challenge, every triumph, every scar, and every strength that you carry. Life hasn't been perfect, and it never will be, but that's okay. You don't have to be perfect to be incredible. And just like that mountain, you stand tall, unshakable, enduring, and full of breathtaking potential. The world will see your rocky sides, your smooth sides, your sunny days, and your shadows. But through it all, your beauty will shine, because you're not just here to exist, you're here to inspire. Being a mountain also means standing as a source of strength for others. Mountains don't rise alone. They lift those around them, shaping the landscape and changing the view for everyone and their presence. As you move forward, don't forget your strength has the power to uplift those around you. Whether it's offering a kind word, standing up for what's right, or simply being there when someone needs you. Your impact will ripple far beyond anything you can imagine. So take a moment now. Think about everything you've overcome to get here. The late nights, the stressful days, the moments when people counted you out, when you even counted yourself out. Even the times you swore you start that essay early, somehow still ended up finishing at 2 a.m. Right, Jensen? Yep, okay, just making sure. Okay. All right. The moment when you said, this is an assignment that's finally gonna take me out. But somehow, each of you pushed through. Look at you now. You made it. And because of that, you now know you're capable of anything, whatever life throws your way. Whether it's a tough job, a difficult decision, or another 10-page paper you forgot that was due. You've already proven you have what it takes to weather the storms. When the winds get strong and the skies darken, remember this moment. Remember the mountain you are. But don't forget to celebrate the smooth sides too. The laughter with friends, the quiet moments of accomplishments, the memories you made along the way. Life isn't just about challenges. It's about embracing the beauty that comes with them. And as you continue to grow, don't lose sight of the joy that's all around you. Because despite the doubt, despite the pressure, despite the moment where it felt like everything was falling apart, you all rose. And that's what makes this moment so powerful. So don't let anyone tell you greatness isn't in your DNA. because it's already there. Everything you've experienced, every challenge, every setback, every late night spent studying, or like me, playing video games at night. This is what shaped you. It has made you stronger, wiser, and more prepared for what's ahead. And the best part, your stories are not even over yet. So as you leave here tonight, know that this isn't the end. This is not even the peak. It's just the beginning of your next climb. And while the path ahead might not always be clear, trust in your ability to navigate it. Stand firm in your pride and stay true to who you are, and never let anyone tell you you can't reach the heights you're meant for. Now, like Simona said, some of us will step forward without hesitation, ready for what's next. Others might pause, unsure of the path ahead. But remember, there's no single road to success. Life's going to twist and churn. March ahead. Some of you will take detours, and some will stumble and have to rise again. But as long as you keep moving forward, you are on the right path. Because scholars, you're the future, unyielding, unstoppable. You've earned this, and I cannot wait to see how each of you change this world. So before I leave this stage, I cannot go without recognizing the incredible faculty of John Adams Academy. On behalf of the graduating class of 2025, we want to sincerely thank you for guiding us, challenging us, and preparing us for what lies ahead. Even teaching us 10 core values. To our teachers, thank you for pushing us, even when we turned in our assignments at 11:59, or let's be honest, most of us 2 days late with sorry for the delay in the comments. Thank you for your patience when half the class forgot to do the reading, but still try to sound like scholars in colloquiums, Miss Umless including me. And thank you for always believing in us, even when we had no idea what was going on. Your patience deserves a medal, maybe even a vacation. I would also like to give a special thanks to Miss Brace. Thank you for always encouraging me and pushing me to be a better person. He couldn't be here today, but thank you to Mr. Simon for always making time for me when I needed it. Thank you to him for making me redo that one assignment 8 times. Really built character from him. His dedication never went unnoticed to me, so thank you to him. To Mr. Jensen, thank you for not just teaching me humanities, but for teaching me how to actually use my brain and not just nod along pretending I read the book. From deep talks to calling me out when I try to blend in, you kept me on my toes. 2 years of essays and debates somehow turned into life lessons, even if I waited last minute to write them. To you, Dr. Meeks, thank you for helping me find my voice and giving me the space to actually use it, even when my voice got a little too bold. You've been one of my biggest supporters, always backing me up, even when I was pushing the limits in class discussions. And finally, to my family. Your love and support have been my foundation, and honestly, my backup plan when I had no idea what was going on, which was most of the time. I wouldn't be here without you, especially since half the time I was just confidently guessing my way through. So thanks for nodding like I had it all together. We all knew I was just improvising as I went, so thank you. Now, class of 2025, go forward with pride. Stand tall like the mountain you are, and face every challenge with the same strength that has brought you here today. This is only the beginning, so congratulations to you, class of 2025. Thank you.
All right, we love our scholars. Wish we could showcase every single one of them. But we're going to shift gears again, and we want to hear from a couple of our teachers who have worked with these scholars during this last year. I can vouch for these 2 gentlemen right here. They're great men. They're examples to me. They've given their blood, sweat, and tears to help our scholars be successful in their pursuits. We're first going to hear from Mr. Rule Heyman, who was their American Government and Economics teacher, after which we'll be pleased to hear from Mr. Peter Jensen, their Humanities 12 teacher and leader in the senior project. So teachers, take it away. We'll start with you, Rule.
It's an honor to be here, scholars, parents, families. I wanted to, if I could, take the Declaration of Independence as a guide and pattern for becoming a servant leader. Can we do that? Devin, can we do that? We can do that, can't we? We have the technology, don't we? So, declaring independence. Are you ready? Are you ready to live as a free and competent individual, not relying on others for subsistence, right? So I'm going to take you through 4 key parts of the Declaration and see if it applies to how to become a great servant leader. So, when in the course of after high school graduation events, it becomes necessary for seniors to dissolve the political bands which have connected them with another, with JAA, their families, to one degree or another, and to assume among the powers of the earth their separate and equal station. Do you realize you're about to do that? To assume among the powers of the earth your separate but equal station. Remember, servant leadership is the practice of leading others through service for causes greater than self, knowledge of truth, wisdom to discern the best course, and of course, virtue. Servant leadership requires a high level of independence. Okay, a high level, and can be achieved through these 4 things: constant conditions, consent and conscience, clarifying crisis, and considerable courage. Number 1, so in the Declaration, it tells us that the laws of nature and nature's God entitle each one of you to declare independence. But what are the laws of nature and nature's God? Blackstone and John Locke, so William Blackstone, who was a lawyer, an English lawyer that wrote the commentaries in English on the commentaries on the laws of England. John Locke, great scholar that the founders quoted heavily in the Constitutional Convention. They talk about the laws of nature as having divine origin. Blackstone said that their law of nature is the will of the Creator, binding on all human beings. We live in a time of relativity, your truth versus my truth. Well, the founders believed that there was truth, and that if we abided by it, we understood it, we were in a position to find happiness and joy. Our will, the laws of nature, nature's God, respect will and agency. The vast majority of human beings that have lived on this earth throughout all of the history of this earth have not known they had a will. That's an interesting thought. They have not known that they could choose. And isn't it beautiful that you've learned that in your faith, with your family, and here at John Adams? Moral absolutes and universal principles are laws of nature. Natural rights, pursuit of happiness. The laws of nature and nature's God have superiority over human law. And living in accordance with the laws of nature and nature's God is virtue, or living virtuously. So that's number 1, understanding that there are certain rights and wrongs. There are certain laws that guide our actions and if we live by them, there's a level of happiness we can achieve. Now, consent and conscience. So we hold these truths to be self-evident, that all John Adams Academy seniors are created equal, that they are endowed by their Creator with certain unalienable rights, that among these are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness, that to secure these rights, governments are instituted among men, deriving their just powers from the consent of the governed. What does consent mean? Right? Consent is synonymous with science. Synonymous means it has the same meaning. With reason, with conscience, conciencia, for those of you that speak Spanish. Con is with, conciencia. When you're thinking with science, you're thinking with reason. You're understanding consent. Consents, or common sense. Scholar is your parents, your chosen faith, the classics, and your mentors and experiences inform and educate your sense, your reason, your science, and your consent. All the same thing. Number 3. In the Declaration, there's a list of about 27 abuses, grievances that King George and the Parliament were doing against the colonists. Crisis is a critical part of growth and understanding who we are and having the courage to accomplish what we were born to do. The Indo-European root of the word crisis is cry. It means to discriminate. It means to distinguish. It means like a sieve to sift. When we experience crisis or grievances, challenges, hard times in our lives, it is a decisive point in our progress, a decisive state of things, vitally important. It persuades us to select, to judge, to separate. It is a point at which change must come, for better or for worse. Remember, miracles only happen or are typically only recognized in crisis. Isn't that interesting? You want miracles, you have to go through hard times. Now, pain is a part of crisis, and pain can be a really, really good thing. Pain stayed so long, I said to him today, I will not have you with me anymore. I stamped my foot and said, be on your way. And paused there, startled at the look he wore. I, who have been your friend, he said to me, I, who have been your teacher, all you know of understanding, love, and sympathy and patience, I have taught you. Shall I go? He spoke the truth, this strange, unwelcome guest. I watched him leave and knew that he was wise. He left a heart grown tender in my breast. He left a far, clear vision in my eyes. I dried my tears and lifted up a song, even for one who had tortured me so long. Finally, once we've been refined, and gone, well, let's continue. Crisis. Being proven in all things through crisis can and will increase our virtue. Virtue is critical for servant leadership. Crisis increases virtue. Crisis refines and removes the dross and base metals in our character and purifies the gold and silver of our promise and potential. Crisis allows us to recreate ourselves in a higher and holier image. Crisis refocuses our attention on the most important details in life. It re-energizes and refreshes all of our sacred relationships. It renews our hope in humanity and simple goodness. Crisis can redeem our souls, freeing us to lift and build others. Finally, once we've graduated from crisis, and it's refined us and it's helped us see what's most important in life, we have what's called confident courage. And for the support of this declaration, with a firm reliance on the protection of divine providence, we mutually pledge to each other our lives, our fortunes, and our sacred honor. Courage, born out of crisis, helps to balance inalienable rights with indispensable virtues. So you can imagine a scale. So I've got rights here. We always talk about rights in our world, but rights have to be balanced with virtue. So we have the right of life, of conscience, of agency, of dominion. We have security, prosperity, and at the very, very top we have happiness. And it's balanced by virtue over here. You've got the virtue of humility, sincerity, morality, fidelity, integrity, purity, and charity at the very, very top. When you have those balanced right, we have duties, imperative duties, which are to trust, meditate or pray, obey, learn, work, give, and serve. I have, Peter, could you Mr. Jensen, bring that up for me? I want to share just an experience in closing. You see this? Here, that's go ahead, unfold it. Turn it up, I think, is that upside down? There we go. You can see that. I took that picture in an orphanage in Accra, Ghana, Africa. We had an opportunity to go and meet with children in a very dilapidated building. It was a Christian charity. They loved the children. The building was falling apart. It was literally a danger hazard to have the children there, but they were happy. They would sing to us. They would dance for us. And I had an opportunity, when my first time going into the orphanage, a young girl approached me, about 16 years old, didn't know her name. She didn't ask me my name. She said to me, "How do I earn a living when I leave this orphanage without selling that which is most sacred?" And I didn't have an answer for her. I thought, what? And on one of the posts that was holding up a roof that was barely in existence, it said that. Can I look at it real quick? And I remember just staring at it, and I'm listening to the children sing, and it says, "God, please help me." And I don't know if it was a boy or a girl that wrote that, but I had the image of this young African girl looking into my eyes saying, "Help. I don't know how to declare independence. I don't know how to be free. I don't even know if I have a will. Do I have any worth? Do I have any value?" Servant leadership is about helping people know that there are laws, immutable laws, that you do not violate. And they respect the agency, the worth, and the value of an individual, the worth of a soul. Every child is a gift, right? So the child who wrote this may not have known she had a will or worth or an opportunity to wonder. She did not know that there are certain laws of nature and nature's God that could bind and protect her. She may not know that consent is critical and she has a right to consent, right? To use reason, to follow conscience, that she has a gift of agency, that she can act and not be acted upon. But she may not know that in servant leadership, what we're learning here at John Adams Academy is going out into the world and seeking out this child, wherever she may be, and teaching her that she can be free, that she has a will, that she has value. Servant leaderships help her to understand that the culminating inalienable right is happiness. That's the object and purpose of our existence, is to find happiness. And she has just as much of a right as I do. That the culminating virtue is charity, and that the culminating duty is to serve, to feed the hungry, to clothe the naked, to liberate the captive, to live by and teach truth. Take seriously what you've been taught here at this school. It's really one of the most important gifts and important messages, and the world needs it desperately. So thank you and congratulations, class of 2025.
Good afternoon, it's hot. I got a suit and a robe. So I feel your pain, so I'm not going to be up here for long. Is this, everybody hear me good? A little higher? Okay. Yeah, if I break it, that's the only thing you'll remember from my speech. Okay, good afternoon. I hope you graduating seniors know how much we love, how much we hold you in high regard. Don't shake your head at me, Aiden. You are a special group. I've had the chance to be with you, for some of you, for 2 years in a row. It's a lot of lectures, a lot of discussions, a lot of time with me. And now I've got 6 minutes to sum that up. So there's a poem that sticks to my soul. A poem I want to share with you. It's a short poem. When I first read it a few years ago, maybe a quarter of a century ago, when I was a strapping young lad with a full head of hair, I thought it a bit ridiculous, worthy of gentle mockery, like those of you that like the Sacramento Kings. When I first read it, and a few subsequent readings, I laughed at it, poked fun at it, and then moved on to greener pastures. But the poem kept coming back to me. Not necessarily because it was moving, not because of its length, not because of its beauty, but it just was short and it stuck. And there was something about it that I didn't understand, and it kept gnawing at me. So it's only 16 words. I'm going to read it to you. I'm sure all of you have read it somewhere in one of your classes. It's by William Carlos Williams. If this is your first time experiencing this poem, we'll mock it afterwards. I'll mock it gently with you. So much depends upon a red wheelbarrow, glazed with rain water beside the white chickens. What to make of it? If you do a little research on the main characters of the poem, you'll discover that the scientific name for a chicken is Gallus domesticus. Interesting. They're not smart animals, but they can be quite delightful. I have and can speak from personal experience of raising chickens. Many stories, too legion to share at this point, but I will tell you that I do still have PTSD from Harvest Day. What about the wheelbarrow? Why red? I don't know. I know that a wheelbarrow with a flat tire is useless. But I've only got a few minutes, so why share this poem? Why this poem with you? As I've gotten older, I've come to appreciate the first line, so much depends on. So much depends on. What could possibly depend on a rain-glazed wheelbarrow? Is there a Gallus domesticus apocalypse in our future? And why the stark colors? Why red? Why not crimson? Why not a variety of pink? Salmon pink, bright pink. Why not scarlet or vermilion or cherry or ruby or flamenco? That last one apparently is a passionate, dance-inspired red with a fiery, dynamic feel. But it's just red. And why juxtapose it against just plain white? How boring. Williams, as a poet, was influenced, somebody's excited, by the Imagist movement of the early 20th century. Last lecture, Imagists favored precision of imagery and clear, sharp language. It was coming on the tail of Impressionism. They got tired of all the pastel blurs, and they said, we want distinct colors. We want distinct
images. We want something that we can wrap and say, that is that, and that is that. So much depends on our being able to see the simple contrasts in life, to see the red clearly and distinctly, to see the white purely and wholly. And know that in this simple, simple scene that we find out what so much depends on in your life. Williams was asked in his later life what inspired the poem. He said that the poem came from an affection for a fisherman named Marshall. Marshall told Williams that through the majority of life he had to work in the cold, freezing weather of the coastal United States weather. Marshall would stand ankle deep in cracked ice, packing down the fish. He said he worked his entire life, and then it wasn't until the very end of his life that he finally felt the cold. Imagine being in such a harsh, difficult job and not even noticing the cold until the very end of your life. He just got on with it. How do you do that? It didn't touch him, didn't cause him to become discouraged. He didn't let the difficulties in life affect him. As Williams got to know and love Marshall, he noticed in his backyard of the house Marshall's son and the aforementioned red wheelbarrow and white chickens. And Williams said that the love for Marshall got him into that poem. And so it is with us. So it is with us. You are embarking, that's just my teaching technique of getting you back to me. That's all I was. You are embarking in life. You're leaving your home, some right now, some in a year or two. You're going to experience the very best life has to offer you, and it will be wonderful. You'll have those sweet choice experiences that will make life magnificent. But also, it will be hard. I wish it wasn't. Metaphorically speaking, many of us may experience a life in ankle-deep, freezing ice performing back-breaking tasks. And in that cold, back-breaking work, you now have the ability to see truth. You have read the greatest books and poems and plays the world has to offer. You can see red and white, true and false, good and bad. You know how to discern the shadows from the wall. You have the ability to see the colors that will make a life worth living. Don't misunderstand me. There are many times in life that you should live life in pastel. Let the experience ebb and flow together, and for a time just glide with life. But so much depends on your ability to see and discern stark differences. Do identify the wrongs in this world and right them. You live in a world that will tell you whatever you want to hear. You can find whatever tribe you go online, create your own insulated group that reinforces your opinions without doing the backbreaking chore of seeing life for what it really is, the things that are really the most important. I have come in my life to love that red wheelbarrow, surrounded by white chickens. Simple, plain, no sizzle, no pizzazz. That is where I spent the majority of my life, driving to work each day, in and out. The everyday living that comes from eating, sleeping, getting up in the morning, going down in the evening, all that painful, boring, yet glorious part of the living of it. Don't let your life go by in a haze of pastel colors that give you some vague sense of the feeling, subjective accomplishment that is, in the end, you will find you're really not sure what you just did. Live life so that you know what you are and after, and it will bring you objective purposes. One that really is good, one that really is true, that is real, that is red. Not some shade, but red and white, just white, in that contrast, in that ability to see things as they really are. You will be able to easily discern between good and truth if you continue that which you have begun here at John Adams. Start looking at the mountains and filling your soul with gratitude on that mundane drive to work. Find delight in the song of your 3-year-old when you have your 3-year-old. Find joy in that song, even if it's being sung at the top of her lungs, off tune, and for the 800th time. There is joy in that. Relish the connection with your parents. They too will leave at some point. Find joy in stopping and listening to nature, to strangers. The smallest act of service resonates the loudest. Be humble enough to listen to those that can point out the profound truths of a simple, well-lived life. Red and white, not vermilion and eggshell. Be great, do great things, but also be great in that you see and identify what comes, what casts the shadows, not the vague haze that is on the wall, red and white, not burgundy and ivory. Find someone that you can love with passion, David. That's another teaching technique if you didn't, yeah. He was talking to Aiden, they were distracted. Find someone that you can love with passion, but also someone that you can grow old together with. Red and white, not hibiscus and beige. If you live life this way, almost done, in 30 years from now, or possibly 40, you will look back on life and it will not matter your profession, your salary, or your position. You will have lived a life in which your soul will have been changed. You will find virtue. You will not be touched by the shadows or debased by what the world wants to offer you. The driving hurricanes of life will feel but a glaze of rain upon the metal of your soul. And in order to live that type of life, you have to live a red wheelbarrow life, to see clearly the colors that make up the joy of life. So much depends on a red wheelbarrow glazed with rainwater besides the white chickens. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you, gentlemen. I was thinking for you parents, families, friends, don't let these scholars off easy. That was just a small taste of what they've been going through for years. They have a lot in their minds and their hearts to offer. So thank you for those speeches, gentlemen. So this is kind of what we've been waiting for. This is more the ceremony part. It's not going to take very long. But scholars, will you please stand? And we're pleased this evening to have Mr. Roy Bratz with us, one of our esteemed board members. I would now like to present to you, Mr. Bratz, and recommend these scholars for graduation. Thank you, as they've successfully completed the American Classical Leadership Curriculum as established by John Adams Academy.
All right, you're wondering, who the heck is that guy? I'm the guy that gets to say, the Academy accepts and approves these scholars for graduation.
All right, thank you, sir. Appreciate that. I see Dr. Carrico's gonna line up over here. Scholars, you can stay standing. Yeah, we want you to come back up here. I'm gonna give that to you. So scholars, after he announces your names, please just come forward. You'll be presented with your diploma and get to shake hands on the way out. Pictures. Don't pull him on this side. Yeah. And then please stand up and shake your hand on the way.
Alan Bobchanik.
And then Alan, turn. Take the picture right there. All right, hold on.
Alyssa Campbell.
All right.
Elisa Deravinchuk. Devin Kinsman. Aiden Solis. Autumn Sherry.
Congratulations, Autumn.
Simona Turovsky.
Congratulations.
David Yermolov.
All right, give me a hand again. Thank you. All right, scholars, I'm just going to read something real quick to you. A little more symbolism, just for the formal part. The graduation ceremony is filled with symbolism. The use of the gown began in the 12th century, and we wear it today to establish the gravity of the situation. The cap, sometimes called the mortar board, because of the shape, resembles the tray that a bricklayer uses to hold mortar. It became popular in the 14th and 15th century and signifies superiority and intelligence. Way to go. The tassel became a tradition only in the last century. What began as a decoration to the cap has now come to symbolize the scholar's progression from candidate to graduate. So you started this evening with the tassel on the left side as a candidate for graduation. You may now turn the tassel to the other side, signifying your completion and graduation from John Adams Academy and beginning the next phase of your life. Ladies and gentlemen, we present to you the graduates of 2025. Congratulations. You can throw your hat if you want to, just don't kill anybody. All right. Hey, that concludes our ceremony this evening. Thank you so much for being here. We love you, parents and families. We know all you've done. Your scholars love you. Feel free to mix and mingle. We have lemonade and water and cookies over there. Take pictures till your heart's content. And family photos, we've got them coming up. So have a wonderful evening. Congratulations.